going to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah, hope I get away with it. Oh, doo-dah, day.
And welcome to the train wreck, folks. I just accidentally banned somebody by trying to look up where they were watching from. Daniel, or whatever your name was, sorry. It was entirely my fault. Good Lord. Maybe I ought to open that bottle of liquor. I need some kind of an excuse for screwing up this badly. Anyway, welcome to Last Man Standing. Right now we got.
Hey Dan, what channel were they on? Or were they on?
They were on a YouTube. They were on a YouTube. That's all I got to see before I clicked the wrong thing.
Okay.
On Dan's channel.
Oh, okay.
It was Dan's channel? Okay. Dan, you can go in and unban them.
How?
It's in the channel analytics or whatever.
Oh, I don't know how to get to that. Is it settings? Sorry. This is not an area of this thing that I have explored. I mean, I know how to use it, but I don't know how to completely use it.
Well, he can pop into Stupid O'Clock or whatever.
Yeah, but
if he's not already gone away.
Hey, and watch it be one of my writers that I should have been really nice to. Didn't recognize the name though. These things, they happen. And after Labor Day, Joe Dog will come back with Stupid O'Clock. I didn't say how long after Labor Day. I didn't say what year. Um,
Yeah, I'm just in right now while I'm waiting on this print to do its thing.
So what's up, Thesis?
Yeah, not much. Just getting home from work and getting on here.
Is he muted?
No, he's just kind of
he's
quiet.
just very quiet.
Oh, okay.
That's how you can tell he's dangerous.
There you go.
It's the ones you can't hear sneaking up on you. You got to look out for.
Mm-hmm.
Did China have ninjas or something
Similar.
analogous?
I mean, assassins, but they're not exactly well looked upon by society.
Most assassins aren't.
Well,
Exactly.
Most of us aren't either, but we persist. Oh, Foxy is scary? Yeah, Foxy is very scary.
Well, yeah, she's a redhead.
Mm-hmm. There's a short list of women I never want to piss off, and she's on the list.
No. But she's the kind of scary that men just have to get next to.
Nope. I'm even more scared of Thesis, so no thank you.
I'm saying in general, you know how it is.
Oh yeah. Single men around single ladies that dangerous. Yeah. Which is why I'm safe with you. I know you're more dangerous than I am, but I kind of like it.
It used to be red, you know.
I ain't afraid of nobody.
You will be.
You know, none of us are going to tell you when we see Donna coming up behind you. Frying pan. Hey, Joe B.
Howdy.
Oh.
Oh,
Now
Rich and I lost track of time.
Why is it your 3D printer doesn't make as much noise as Joe Dog's 3D printer?
Oh.
Probably because he don't use it during shows.
He did
He's
last night.
using it last night. I think it might be the headset. Whereas you've got the radio station microphone, he's got a headset.
Well, this thing, like, the noisiest thing on this thing is the fan.
I got an extruder motor screaming at me,
Ah.
and I'm not going to. Hey, it's working. I'm not going to
Don't
change.
touch it. Don't touch it.
Of course, now I got a plate that puts holograms on the back of it.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, Joe, you're probably going to get one of these.
Nice.
And I'm going, yeah, that's going to be something that's really people are going to rush to counterfeit as first armor badges for Hallowcon.
I managed to get about 6 more Nick's BSRs done today.
Oh, wow, good.
I just got to pull the supports off of them.
What is it?
It's for Nick Tockert's big stompy robots. It's a little bitty models for the tabletop game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's these guys.
What's the progress on the paint that you put on the ones last night? Any sign of any deformation or melting or anything?
Nope.
Good.
Nope, they're looking good.
That's good. Yeah, the person we shall not name tonight, they did 2 different batches. They did the first batch and he painted it and they melted. And he did the second batch, and he painted them, and they looked like they were going to be okay. And then they melted. And I don't think they ever figured out what exactly went wrong.
What brand of paint were they using?
That's
I don't know.
the
I don't
unknown
know.
detail.
Uh,
You will have to ask them if they ever return to Hallowcon.
okay.
Yeah.
It'd be a long drive, believe me.
Even further than us.
Oh, okay.
But don't ask while I'm around because he still owes me a figure.
Me too, but I wasn't going to bring it up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Don't think he knew what material they were and which paint was correct. Probably oil paints. Well, that does kind of make sense considering oil paint is made from a whole bunch of different things, most of which are.
If he was printing with PLA, or if he was printing with ABS and used Krylon, it's the solvent in the Krylon.
Well, he wasn't printing them. Someone else was doing the printing and then sending them to him.
And he was not privy as to what they were being printed from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't mentioning names, Witzman, dude. Shut up.
Well, I'm not flashing it up on the screen. Only people who can read will know that, which lets out none of my audience.
Let's say we're all authors here, except
just so I'm thinking of the same one. There is a lake named after their state.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
But anyway, moving quickly along. Do I have a cat or do I have a seal, Joe B?
I have no idea. I don't even know if she's worked on it today. I've been scrolled way down here in the basement most of the day.
At the moment, you have a penguin, dear.
No, I had a pug-nosed Siamese last night. That was so cute.
All I did was put the anchor on the back.
And the nose went whoop.
Oh,
I have been so much trouble choosing that thing.
And you absolutely delight in being trouble. I know you altogether too well.
Then she enjoys a good challenge.
Which
she married
is
me, so
being challenged. Oh yeah, okay, married you. Okay, I get it. I foresee a frying pan in your future too.
nah.
Oh no, she has swords.
No. She'll just bring it up and hand it to you and say, "Go cook something."
Pretty much.
Say he already does that.
Hey,
I mean,
still got to figure out what to cook and where for Lindsay for Labor Day.
I mean, Joe B, didn't you teach her how to cook a lot of things?
I haven't really taught her how to cook anything. Mainly because Hey, Pops. I was taught how to cook by my grandmother, which is more of a, this is how it should taste, feel, smell, look.
Yeah.
You know.
Can't tell you how much of anything is in it, but this is what you get when you do it right.
Yeah. Like she wrote down her recipes. And they have all the ingredients. But you still have to know what it should look like and feel like and taste like.
Yeah, definitely. And Labor Day is Pops' 61st birthday. They're having a bash at 5 p.m. on the network. If
Nice.
if you want to drop that link in here, Pops, I will be glad to post it up here. Oh, Carl is bragging
Yes.
about something sane this time. About 5:40, he finished the DB Cooper story. What are you doing up at 5:40? You can't stay awake for my show, much less stay awake all night to write.
He didn't. He said he was up at 5:40, not that he would stayed up till 5:40.
You're right. I made a dangerous assumption. Writers tend to stay up all night writing stuff. And
Hmm.
here is the link for Pops's birthday party.
Nice.
So, yes, mark that down, folks. And there's no way for me to click on it here without trying not to ban Pops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, Angelina's here.
yes. Somehow I'm still awake, and it's great to see you. I've missed you. I don't know how long I'll last, but it's an awesome way to end the day. Well, this is pretty much the beginning of my day. I'm enjoying retirement. I don't think I've seen the clock read anything before noon when I woke up.
But you stay up of a night.
Well, yeah,
Carl
I
went to
do.
bed right after Joe's show last night.
Yeah, and I stayed up till the dog and my wife told me to go to bed. Uh, the dog was first.
Well, my show was a little off the rails last night.
A little.
We enjoyed it.
I know, color you all shocked, especially since you were all in the chat. But
Your audience, most of them,
And we
are
contributed
right
as
here.
much as we could.
We tried to
No.
disrupt you, but and Richie's with us too.
Hey, Rich.
there's the man that made me lose track of time. Oh.
And then he went off to eat.
I did not make, I assisted. There's a difference. It's spelling, but there's a difference.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear it right now, but the 3D printer is running.
I hear a news program running, but that's about it.
Is that what that is? I'm pretty sure I heard voices.
I've been hearing
I hear
voices for years.
all the time. I'm a writer. If
Yeah.
I don't hear voices, it means that I can't finish the damn story. And Carl wasted time behaving for Joe and Trey's show. Well, I mean, we could attempt to break Dawn, but where's the fun in that?
But we managed again last night, almost.
Well, we bent her severely. We didn't break her. I didn't say over what. Get that look off your face.
I'm just sitting here pulling stuff off of here.
Just pulling stuff off while he's thinking about breaking down.
Not the green room, folks.
No worse than all the wood I was collecting in the game.
Yes, but was it cherry wood?
I was helping Joe get wood.
Oh my.
And you did a fine job, Richie.
No, sorry.
Was it hardwood?
Started to button up your tie there, didn't you?
It was a good hardwood.
Well, while I was mowing the front yard today, I was also surveying all of the storm damage that I'm going to need to use my brand new chainsaw on.
Ooh.
Look at that
Yay.
smile.
I'm looking forward to that. I've never had a battery operated chainsaw before.
It wears down soon.
I'm sure it will. It's supposed to last at least 2 hours. If it lasts for 4 hours, I will consult a physician.
Lasts for 4
I knew
hours.
that.
Make sure the battery's not expanding and about to explode.
Oh,
Hmm.
I've got some off-brand replacement batteries for a drill, which will overheat while they're charging. And the charger has a light on it to tell me when they are charged. And if you pull the batteries right off the charger and try and put them in the drill, it no longer fits. You got to wait till those suckers sit a while and cool off.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Carl says his lasts about 2 hours.
Let's see, 10-inch saw. No, it's a 16-inch chainsaw. The table saw and the miter saw, I think, are both 10-inch circular blades. But those
long-
are how long?
How long is yours, Woodsman dude? And I mean the chainsaw. He got a little baby chainsaw.
I was going to say, if you don't know how long it is after all these years, dear.
Joe, get out of my head.
And now you know why I added the chainsaw. 10 inches? No, we're talking about the chainsaw. Oh, never mind.
Oh,
It's a fine night tonight, isn't it?
yes, really. Lovely weather we're having, and so much of it.
I've got one of the mini chainsaws too, little battery operated one. I don't know how long the battery actually lasts. I don't think I've actually had to use it to the point that it actually needed to be charged.
Is that one of those about the size of a hand drill?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one of those. I gave it to my wife as a present. I forget if it was Christmas or her birthday.
Mm-hmm. That little thing, I'll tell you what, that thing, small branches and stuff, cuts through them like butter.
I know. I went out to mess around with it just to see whether or not it was going to be safe enough for her to use. And I'm going, honey, they packed safety glasses in here for a reason. This thing will throw some wood chips even past the plastic guard over the top of the chain. So yeah, I really like that little thing. I might have to get one for me. But I've got this one is just regular chainsaw size. Basically, if I find a 17-inch thick tree, I won't be able to cut through because it's only a 16-inch blade. But considering most of the stuff I need to saw up is only just tree branches and things like that, it should be fine.
Oh, Woodsman dude, go check on the babies on the stairs, please. Methinks someone went tumbling. No, one of the reasons he got the little battery one was we go take care of April's chickens and cat while they're on vacation.
That would certainly take care of chickens and cats.
No, their driveway does not look like a driveway. It
Oh.
looks like a lane down through a forest, and you've got trees. It's big enough to get our Toyota Sienna down, but that's about it. There's trees on each side all the way down, about a quarter mile. And one time we went down there, and there was a fortunately small tree branch across the road, and we finally got around it. Carl held it back while I drove past it. It's like, yeah, we need to bring a saw with us for the next time this happens. And so he got his little battery thing. And of course, since we're prepared, it hasn't happened since then.
Of course not.
Of course not.
I've still got bottles of kerosene for the oil lamps that have been put away in the cabinet for several years now, and because I'm prepared, we haven't had a power outage long enough to warrant firing up a hurricane lamp or even the oil lamp sometimes. I mean, the lamp oil evaporates quicker than we have need of using the oil lamps. But then it's so hot down here, if we relied on candles, they would all be, shall we say, suggestively shaped for me.
Speaking of melted wax.
And
Zach.
wait a minute. I don't believe that was an introduction for Zach.
I don't think so. Did you hear about the small statue of Lincoln in Washington, D.C.?
No.
Somebody had made a 6-foot wax sculpture of Lincoln in the traditional mode, the one where he's sitting in the chair just like in the memorial.
In the memorial.
Yeah, in the heat wave it melted this summer.
Oh,
And
no.
suddenly they found Jimmy Hoffa.
Nah.
Sorry, union joke.
There's Zachy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zachy is in Florida, USA now.
Yeah. I need Zach to send me a message because I got business to talk with him. But besides that, Dan, you've heard the story of the opening of the Hall of Presidents. What happened to the Lincoln robot?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, somebody put a mask on it and they elected it president again, and everybody thought it was Ronald Reagan.
No. During the opening weekend of the Hall of Presidents, Abraham Lincoln stood up to do his thing, and then he started twitching like a seizure, and then the hydraulic fluid started coming out his mouth and chest.
Oh, I hadn't heard that one. I heard where he just kind of.
No, the hydraulic leaked.
This is when you're supposed to test these things before you put them on, folks.
Really, they invented washers and seals for a reason. Willow, hey.
Hey, Willow.
Yeah.
Hey, Willow.
You're doing a show every week once you get started back on your new programming. If I'm correct, instead of every other week, it's going to be every Sunday. Or I could be misremembering. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
She does have a show this weekend, I believe, this Sunday.
Yep.
The geekiness or... Ooh, I need to write that down so I can promote it better.
Yep. And... Oh, I can't do that here. It'll show up 5 times.
Well, if you go down to... where it says all...
We're all, yeah, and go to just me.
Yeah. Or you can do it the 5 times because it'll just end up on the 5 different channels.
Oh, you can actually control what channel you post to.
Yeah.
No, not the one about the former moron in chief.
Okay.
The good one here about Thesis's show. The important one.
It will still be every first and third Sunday of the month. Well, that's not this weekend then.
Hey,
Yeah, it
first and
is.
third.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that'll be the first Sunday. And
It's exactly the first.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Hey.
why I've got to finish up with Aphelion before Sunday.
I'm
Ah.
retired. Every day's the first. Or the third, or whatever day I want it to be.
Had a switch of days with the Ice Cream Queens a couple of weeks ago. Okay, that may have been where I got myself mixed up, but
Yeah, that was the week before the show with the Greek gods.
well, I will have to confess that I'm going to miss Cryptid Crunch, but the new topics are exciting. So,
Yeah, very interesting.
yeah. The important thing is we get to see Willow twice a month.
These things happen, Willow. It's just nice that y'all are getting along and helping each other, that you could switch like that.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah. The reason that this show was on so early for the last month or so is because Dog is concentrating on Hallowcon.
Hallowcon.
Yes, and we're all just chomping at the bit. Hey, Cap. Nice to see you.
and
Willow is having fun with geeky discoveries. Thank you. My brain was not letting me remember it. I knew it was. I had the right letters. They were just in the wrong order. Dyslexia strikes again.
Speaking of geeky discoveries, Carl Witzman has finished his book on D.B. Cooper, and it's got quite a little twist at the end of it.
that
I
looks
think
like
you'll
it's
enjoy
hard.
it. See you, Joe.
Good night, Joe.
I'm out of here.
Get some rest,
Okay.
Joe.
All right, bye. Yes, I want to leave the studio.
You sure?
Changes, man. I didn't make any freaking changes.
He's got ops, and it still won't let him leave.
Dawn's got ops, and she had to hit end stream 4 times the one night.
I just stopped the show and then click leave studio, and the whole browser dies. I don't.
Yeah, but you've stopped the show. Maybe that's the difference.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, if you leave midstream, it.
No, I try not to leave anything midstream. I
me
have to
neither.
clean up after myself.
Which is why he doesn't wear his earpiece when he goes down the hall.
Right?
Exactly. Because I know who I'm dealing with.
We're a bunch of perfect little angels.
I have problems with the definition of about 3 of those words.
Hey, even the devil is an angel, okay?
He just forgot the root thought.
What? Okay, Carl, you got some explaining to do. Atomic Stories?
The story of D.B. Cooper. It is pretty short.
Story of my life.
So he's thinking of, Kelly
Some
Goodman? Is that the one who has atomic stories?
Kelly Austin.
Austin. Okay.
Oh,
I had the first name right.
Kelly
yeah.
Austin, Kelly Carlisle, depending on what she's going by.
Yeah. Well, he'd already given her the first Mad Gasser. And yeah, the second one is it's.
Hey, Rich.
Yeah.
How are you? Doing much better now?
Hey, Michaela.
Hey, Michaela. And it's not sci-fi, so it would not work for Aphelion. Somehow, after reading your books, Carl, I think I could probably make it into sci-fi just by publishing it.
I don't know. There's one aspect that might make it science fiction.
Hey, as long as he actually turns out to be Loki in the end, I'm fine.
Yeah, he was expecting me to do what I did to Dan one night, and I'm like, sorry, honey, you kind of hinted at it while you were working, so I wasn't really surprised at the ending. But it's a really cool ending. It's a really cool ending.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, that's the way it.
Sometimes
That's
works.
the way they build up on you. They start out as just a vignette, and then they take on a life of their own and swallow your life.
Sometimes. I have one science fiction story that's pretty short. I may have to look into how to apply to Aphelion. Submit.
Email it to shorts@aphelion-webzine.com, and I will read it. And
go, are you crazy, woman?
This is urban fantasy, which I will publish. I mean,
what was that email address again? I know, but I can go on the Aphelion and find it there.
Yeah, it's just shorts at aphelion-webzine.com. And if you let's see, no, I've got that redirected to my Windstream account so that I can communicate back with people that are on Gmail as well as other services, because the weird way that I have to work out here in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, Georgia, I have to go through my local phone company to get to Atlanta, which Gmail thinks is, oh, this is spam. It's been redirected once already. So I can't send directly from my American account to Gmail. I have to bounce over to Windstream and go from there.
Speaking of Aphelion,
yeah,
you just what?
I just maced myself. I forgot to go rinse my fingers after touching the pepperoncinis, and then I rubbed my eye that just got injected.
Oh no!
Oh, at least it wasn't a bunch of habaneros and you went to go take a piss.
Oh God, that's happened. Dave's insanity sauce.
Oh, I once had an entire 1 quart Ziploc baggie full of peppers grown by people I work with, and I didn't know what half of them were, and I chopped them up and I put them in my pickled pepper jar and put more vinegar over the top of them. And then I went to the bathroom, and boy, did I regret making that decision.
Hmm. One of my mom's boyfriends, one of the guys she dated after my parents divorced, he was cutting up a bunch of jalapenos and didn't think about it. Went to the bathroom. Next thing my mom knew, she heard this, blood curdling, little schoolgirl scream come from
He
the
thought about
bathroom.
it all of a sudden, didn't he?
Yep, she said she walked into the bathroom and all she sees is his junk in the sink with him splashing water on it. Not that was doing a lick of good, but
I was going to say.
A tin can, the restaurant size industrial cans that they get their canned shit in. My father used to go out and buy those filled with jalapenos. He and his friends would sit there at the bar in the house eating those all night on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
The next morning, on Saturday morning, my sisters and I would get woke up to,
Come on, ice cream.
and Dad screaming. And, occasionally we'd hear, I need ice cream for my asshole. The pounding noise was Dad slamming his head into the wall of the bathroom because he's in so much pain from Ring of Fire, and it's his own damn fault, so he can't blame anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And yet he'd do it again.
Oh yeah, without a minute's hesitation.
And then he would do it the very next Friday.
My dad would. Mom wanted to make oyster stew. Dad would get an extra container of oysters and sit there, put one on a saltine cracker, put Tabasco sauce all over it, and eat it like it was popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
And never seemed to pay any kind of a price that my young mind could comprehend.
Oh,
Lord. Cap,
you
you're on.
gotta
Cap.
know to try to be just like Daddy, and
No. Congratulations. Keep going. Don't stop till the story ends.
Yep.
And then you have to go back and do the hard part, editing. Believe me, that's the hardest part of writing anything is going back and doing the editing. And most of the time, unless somebody else reads it, you can't see the forest for the trees.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very, very difficult to edit your own stuff.
unless you leave it sit for a while.
Oh, even
'Cause then you
then,
come, well, when you leave it sit for a while, you come back to it with fresher eyes, at least.
yeah. Michaela loves editing, but then she's crazy like that. But that's why we love you, dear.
Cap, one of the things my mom did when she wrote her book was she would write a chapter. She'd do a chapter a day, and when she'd come back the next day, she'd look back at the chapter she just typed, kind of do a quick edit of that, make sure everything was actually somewhat making sense, and then write the next chapter.
And that's reasonable.
I can do that with proofreading, but not editing. I mean, I can find typos that I did the day before.
Yeah,
But the story is stuck in my mind. I know exactly what I meant to say. And to my dyslexic brain, what I actually said was what I meant to say. Other people that aren't me can find the mistakes and the
You
continuity
can't see the
errors.
forest for the trees because your brain is doing the autocorrect.
Yeah, exactly. squirrel. No.
Moose and squirrel.
Oh. I have a friend from LibertyCon who is from Portugal, and for some reason, when people in Portugal learn to speak English, they sound Russian.
Okay.
So there is a running gag at LibertyCon to try and get her to say moose and squirrel as many times as possible.
My first cardiologist that I had was Russian, and I wasn't expecting him, so it caught me off guard. I didn't say it out loud, but my mind auto-completed it, and I started laughing, because after checking me out, he was like, "You're strong like moose." And of course, my brain immediately goes, "And squirrel." And I just start giggling like a little child, and he's just kind of looking at me. I'm like, I don't want to explain the joke that just went through my head, sir. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Really. I meant no disrespect. Please don't kill me.
Cap, use anything other than Notepad.
Oh, yeah.
Use Google Docs.
Yeah.
And actually,
or worst comes to worst, pay for Office 365.
Yeah.
I've been using Word for a long time because it was free at work, and I got a gift subscription for being an employee of a company that millions of people were using Office. And
well, and the other thing is too, Cap, if you use Google Docs, if you have an Android phone, or actually I think you might even be able to do it with the iPhone. You can get Google Docs on iPhone.
Yes,
but you could do like Nick Tockert does, and be able to work on your story from your phone or your computer. So if you're sitting in like the doctor's office, pull it up on your phone and start typing away.
OpenOffice is almost exactly the same thing as Microsoft Office, but it's free.
Mm-hmm.
And it will convert files to whatever format you need.
Mm-hmm.
I've got copies of both here, and people have sent me stuff in some of the weirdest formats, and I've had to pull up all kinds of things and try and go, how can I get this as a plain text file I can copy and paste? Sometimes
there is a gentleman, I believe he's out of England because of some of the spelling and word choices he's used. He, as a side gig, created his own software and stuff like that. It's called Space Jock Software. The name of the actual application in question is YWriter, Y, the letter Y, Writer, WRITER. Completely free. It allows you to actually break things out so that you can have stuff with your characters, stuff with specific scenes, your chapters. It allows you to fly things around if you decide this doesn't make sense here, this needs to be 2 chapters earlier, stuff like that. If you've ever used Literature and Latte's Scrivener, every year they do a free demo during November for National Novel Writing Month, that you get to use it for the entirety of November and a couple days into December. And then if you actually manage to cross the finish line of NaNoWriMo, they will actually give you so much off the software. I don't know if they're still doing that promotion, but they did that for well over a decade. So I'm going to assume it's probably still, because it's probably a really good thing for them. But so if you've ever used Scrivener, it's very Scrivener light. But it gives you the same ability to move stuff around and all sorts of cool stuff.
So he just transferred the notepad file to OpenOffice. Yes, I am really fond of OpenOffice. It is one of those things that it's saved me a bunch of time and a bunch of money. It is very, very versatile, and I think, unlike Word, if you happen to have a picture in there and you move it up 2 lines, it doesn't create 72 blank pages.
It doesn't break the anchor point.
Yes. And Willis says that's good to know. Do have a permanent license for Office 2013, but yeah, and the only reason I had to go to the paid version of Microsoft Office was because I had stuff that I had created on the free version that was paid for by my employers, and I had the discount version that I got for being one of their employees. But all of a sudden, it would not read any of my word processor files. It would not read my spreadsheet files. And if you know how much I depend on spreadsheets in my
How
life.
addicted Dad and I are to Excel.
Yeah, exactly. Excel is just one of those things that I sometimes astonish people with some of the things I found
I
out.
need those pivot tables right away.
Well, you really excel at it, Dan.
Yeah, I know. And I accelerate a little bit too. No, I showed an example of something I've done. I think it was to Michaela, and she goes, "How did you do that?" And I go, "Excel spreadsheet." She goes, "How the fuck do you get a poster in Excel spreadsheets?" Like,
Practice.
I'm good. Oh,
So to kind of circle back to what I originally was going to ask you about.
Oh.
Do you have time tomorrow to where we can talk about getting Aphelion back up to where
international.
Yes.
Yes. I had a long conversation yesterday about I no longer have time this month to schedule a visitation between my grandson and his biological father. It's going to have to wait till September, and I'm going, quit replying. I'm done now. But we got that straightened out. I've got to get with my stepdaughter and find out grandson's schedule as far as doctor's appointments and school and everything else, and then try and match that up with my schedule so that we can have a visitation with his biological father, because I am the court appointed visitation monitor. I tried to get him not to do me this way, but apparently for some strange reason they think I'm trustworthy. I don't know. I tried to raise the kids right, but no, it didn't work. No, seriously. Apparently I have impressed judges in 2 states, as well as a lawyer here and the biological father's lawyer. And
so inebriation and insanity are those the 2 states?
No, Tennessee and Georgia. I think inebriation and insanity come with citizenship in both of those alternate universes. Um, Believe me, why do you think I've got a coil of copper line in the barn just in case Prohibition comes back? Oh,
Yeah, I
oh,
figure we could talk tomorrow or something. Try and figure
yes.
out.
If you let's see, Lindsay's got to go get her hair styled at 3 p.m. our time, and I will be awake by then. I hope.
Maybe.
I should be awake by 11 or thereabouts. Uh, uh, I hate
Dan,
going to bed that early.
So, Joe, 1 hour,
Holy shit.
27 minutes to print that many.
Show off.
Wait,
Between the two of you, I think Nick's going to have merchandise.
That screen.
So after this tonight, I need to set up the printer to make sure that will actually accomplish. And that's only 50 milliliters of 50.26 milliliters of resin, including supports.
Nice.
What different kinds of paints have you tried on them to make sure it won't melt the plastic once it's done? This discussion came up earlier in a different context, but not that different.
The FDM plastic is much different than the resin, because it's one's a liquid that cures using UV, but if you throw down a latex primer under it, then
Yeah.
you really don't have to worry. Now, how big is your bases?
My base is 220 millimeter, 220 millimeter, or 240 millimeter. I can't remember which.
Yes,
I want
but
to say it's 240 by 240 by 260 high, or it might be
but
220
all your
by
base
220.
belongs to us.
Okay, so you're printing them in larger than 1 inch bases.
Oh, you mean the actual base of the
The mini, yeah.
unit? Oh hell, I don't know. I ain't measured the fucking thing.
It looks like about 1.5 inches in diameter, if not 2 inch in diameter.
Well, hold on. Let me turn off my camera. I got measured 3 times.
That's what she said.
You're not cutting it. You only need to measure once.
Yeah. Actually, do I have my? Oh, I do. My little fabric measuring tape for when I do my wood pieces.
I've got one of those for when I do leather work.
Very good, Dan. This is 1.5 inches.
I am my father's son, although I can't tell the difference between something that is 1,000th of an inch smaller than something else that my dad could see with his naked eye and know for a fact. But that's just because he was a machinist, and that's the kind of tolerances he was working with, was 1,000ths of an inch and 10,000ths of an inch, which is probably why some of the parts that he made for NASA wound up on the lunar rovers that are parked on the moon right now. I don't know what parts Dad made. I don't think he knows what parts he made that wound up being used on those things. But he was told once he got through with the project, that's what it was for. And he waited until like 5 years before he died before he ever told anybody about it. Like he had a NDA agreement. He wasn't allowed to talk about it. But then, Alzheimer's makes you forget signing an NDA, uh,
Yeah,
among many other things.
the 4 that I'm doing there, Rich, will take 1 hour and 59 minutes and use 32.69 grams of filament, or
Okay.
10.96 meters, I think.
Oh, and I missed this. Michaela said she uses Google Docs for most of her stuff, and she likes it because it's easily shareable with editors and co-writers who can work on the fly. That is, yes. My publisher is using that for proofreading stuff, and also allowed me to get one of the first listens to the audiobook of the Spaceport Bar Stories. And I'm going, I really should have sat down and done the pronunciation guide, but I didn't have like 6 months to prepare for this. Cap, limitations to submitting work to Aphelion. If it's under 8,000 words, I get it. If it's between 8,000 and what is it? 14,000? It goes to the editor that does long form stories. And if it is a novel that has to be serialized because it's so long, it has to be totally finished before going to the long form editor. 31,000 words, 17 pages done. Okay. That may have to go to either might have to go to serials at Aphelion rather than shorts at Aphelion. I'm not sure. 17 pages, 31,000 words. You must be using a really small font, dude. Okay, you're in the U.S. You can actually go to the submissions guidelines page on Aphelion right now, and it will tell you what the limits are and which email address it needs to go with.
1,000 to 7,000, according to Aphelion, is shorts. Under 1,000 is
Flash.
Flash, and then over 7,000 was long form. That's all I remember off the top of my head.
Are you sure about that? Because I just recently edited one of my stories with not quite 39,000, and it has 72 pages at 12 times New Roman.
I think Cap added an extra 0. 3,100 words sounds pretty
More
close
like
to 17 pages. But that's all right. I can't type numbers correctly either. Don't feel bad.
Well, when you get on that one number, and you just sometimes kind of keep going, right? I've done that. I've done that with letters.
It felt so good I had to play out the hand.
Exactly, and that's what she said last night.
She didn't say it to me.
Where was I? We were in the rental cigar store and
Oh.
checking out, and I don't remember what the Witzman dude said, but without thinking, I went, "That's what she said." And the clerk, I thought the clerk was going to hit the floor.
That's not going to get you any discount there if the
I
clerk has a
started
concussion. Yeah, 3,100.
like-
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
Now, I don't really care what font you send it to me in. Me, other guys might, but I will automatically convert it to Times New Roman and 12-point font.
What I always use when I'm writing something.
Yeah.
It's
now-
nice,
now-
easy to read, and fast to read.
It's just Times New Roman is what's going to be on the web page, no matter what you send it to me. It doesn't matter. It could be, Klingon, and if I've got the font, I can translate it to Times New Roman. It'll look weird, but God, I've only got like 31,000 fonts.
So you're saying the next time I submit a story, I should do it in my rich block font?
I can turn that into Times New Roman. Yes. Hell, there may even be an animated font that is good for somebody who swings swords for a living, but I wouldn't be able to display it on the website.
Wingdings.
Wingdings. Hey, if I know what it is, I can convert it. If not, I have programs to do that for me. Yes, I have minions. And they're electronic, but they're minions.
Hey, what else would an old god of the Appalachians have?
Not talking about the horse. No.
He was
I had to play dice with that damn Greek for I don't know how long till I got the horse, but I wanted a horse with wings. Goes with a collection. Hey,
I didn't say anything.
he wanted the mirror shield for some reason. I assume it was something to do with whatever he was going to put in that burlap bag and take back. But
Hey, Matthew.
hey, Matthew.
Hey, Matthew, long time.
I'll be back. I need to go refill the water jug.
I'm going to have to take about 3 steps across the room to get another beer. Yes, I
Poor
know.
Carl drank his last beer tonight,
Oh, no.
and he didn't get more last Sunday, which is his fault because that's his part of the scavenging.
And now he won't be able to buy any more on Sunday until afternoon.
We don't have that problem up here.
Oh, you don't have that? Oh, you live in a civilized country.
No, we live in a drunk country. It all depends on when the lady who is in that department gets to work. If he goes up to scavenger hunt before 7, she's not there yet, so he has to do without. But I believe she gets in about 7:30.
The law around here is you can look, but you can't buy anything until 12:30. When the preacher is through at the church and wants his bottle of liquor.
His liquor lady.
Yeah. I'm not going to go there either, honey. Uh,
Do you mean the other liquor lady?
yeah. Uh,
Ay, did I?
by the ears, like any other French woman. Uh, I figured I didn't need to tell the joke. I just needed to do the punchline. Um, we're all intelligent here. Well, maybe not me, but in any case, I'm going to go down the hallway now, and I'm leaving the headset here. Thank you, because
Coward.
I know y'all, and besides, I don't want to have to reconnect the Wi-Fi signal to the computer. If I walk too far away, it will do that. It'll disconnect, and I'll come back, and I'll just be going, and nobody will know what I'm saying. Oh.
So if I jack those up to 1.5 inch for the base, I can only get 8 on my plate. And it'll take just over 2 hours.
Okay.
Oh,
How many-
Bachman's up.
How many are you going to need by the 7th? Yeah, Cap. It took a week on little BB, but after she came in, she's like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that again." Yeah, the day before she came in, we had a nice thunderstorm. Reminded her of why inside is nice. Then I finally forgave Calvin for ripping the crap out of my arms, but then again, it was my fault. Didn't have him held correctly. And with the dude, I have the December dates for when we're doing the chickens and the cat.
No, Billy, come on. I'm sorry. I love you, but you
Those cubs, they're as useless as ever. We went to a restaurant today, people and I did, and the lady had a Chief Elina Wick, which, for those not in the know, Chief Elina Wick used to be the mascot for the University of Illinois, the Fighting Illini. A few years ago, someone got a wild hair up their butt and decided that that was racist and we needed to get rid of it. And this lady said when she heard that that was going to happen, she went out and bought a ton of these shirts so that she would always have a Wick sweat t-shirt or sweatshirt to wear. And now, as a partial Irish person, I'm going, okay, the guy who did Chief Elina Wick to study with a native tribe to learn the ceremonial dance. It was not a white man, this is how Indians dance thing. It was a traditional one. This tribe also taught him, and each mascot had to do his own outfit and headdress. Taught him how to make his outfit so that was traditional and true. His headdress, and he had to make them himself. So I'm going, This to me is more of honoring them. But no, they got rid of that. But yet there's that still cartoon leprechaun at a certain college that if that's okay that we can have that because we can make fun of white people things.
Mm.
No, it's not making fun of white people. It's making fun of Catholics.
Or we can make fun of Catholics. That's okay.
I think George Carlin would approve.
But still,
Did anyone address Foxy's question besides Carl? What is everyone's favorite mythical creature?
Me.
An honest politician.
Damn it, Richie, get out of my head.
It's a toss-up between the honest politician and Nick Tockert.
Nick Tockert is not mythical. He makes myths. He's a myth maker. Try saying that 3 times fast after
Not
2 glasses of Irish whiskey.
Not a snowball's chance in hell, even sober.
But most people should realize what my favorite mythical creature is.
the werewolf.
Evil genius.
According to what looks like I'm pointing at, it should be the second one, not the last one.
Sorry.
No,
we're at
on our screen, you're a little bit smaller.
On our screen, you're
Sorry, that was not meant to be an insult. I'm a little bit smaller too here on this screen.
So am I, and the zoom on this webcam just is not as good as it claims. But anyway,
I don't know. It's pretty.
Pardon
good.
me while I whip this out. Some of you in the front
it's-
might want to step well back.
It's cold in here. Yeah, that's it. Yes.
And remember, gentlemen, we are in the Arctic. X-Files count as.
Oh, okay. I'm going. Excuse me. Georgia's subtropical right now, and sub is kind of pushing it. Good Lord.
Out of all the X-Files shows that I watched, that is the one quote that the gentlemen are to examine each other to make sure they don't have this parasite. And Mulder goes, and remember, gentlemen, we are in the Arctic.
Carl, I'm sorry to do this, but Nick isn't mythical. Have you asked his wife? She would tell us he's legendary.
You would hope.
Legendary mythical is not the energy.
Not anything near the same.
I like Skylers.
No, I'm not going to ban you too. I don't have to click on your name to find out who you are and where you're at.
It says hers is the unbiased journalist.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, that is definitely a mythical creature there. Well, now that Walter Cronkite and David and Chet are dead, who was the last non-talking head journalist to do the news?
Dan Rather?
Yeah, I would respect him. And
so I'm probably too young to really make a good judgment on that because most of the news anchors in my early years are, passed on.
I would kind of I would want to add Tom Brokaw to that list just because he seemed to be honest and he didn't try and tell me what to think.
Ed,
What
Yeah.
are your guys' thoughts on Peter Jennings? That's what I remember from when I was younger. But like I said, most of the ones that would have been unbiased were, either phasing out at that time or were,
Yeah.
I think Peter Jennings was being phased out at that time, probably because he wanted to be a reporter, not a journalist. Edward R. Murrow, definitely.
We're talking about the last of them, and I can't think of his name. Was on the show with the watch. Ed.
60 Minutes guy?
60 Minutes guy.
Yeah. Ed something.
God.
I do not remember his name, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I can picture the old bastard too.
Yeah.
God damn it. Google, help.
Google, help.
People say Ed, and my brain either goes to Word Scissorhands or Guy.
Those are two totally different concepts right there, Richie. One is an excellent gardener. The other one is a very, very bad babysitter.
One's an excellent gardener. The other is a magnificent tailor.
Nope. I got to disagree with you there. I've seen the clothes.
Harry Reasoner?
Harry Reasoner. Ed Bradley, yes, that was another one.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
Walter Cronkite, yeah. Oh God, we all. My particular area grew up with Uncle Walter is going. Yep, that's the fact. Shall make up your own mind. Good night.
No,
the grumpy guy at the end of 60
Andy,
Minutes.
What's his name?
Not
he was,
Andy. Was it Andy Rooney?
Andy Rooney was a commentator on 60 Minutes, yes.
But I would not call him unbiased. At least not some of the stuff I've seen.
No, he's unbiased in the same way that well, that talk got aborted real quick.
So I actually pulled up the
Ed Bradshaw, yeah. I believe that's it. Bradley?
Ed Bradley was a part-time correspondent and former host.
Mm-hmm.
Black gentleman.
Yes.
Part-time correspondent.
Man.
Part-time correspondent from 1976 to 1981, and he was host from 81 to 2006.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of.
My brain wants to say Koppel.
Ted Koppel.
Ted Koppel.
Ted Koppel.
Well, that's the way he said his name. I don't know how anybody else says it.
It's Ted Koppel is what he was professionally known as, but I guess his real birth name was Edward.
Many Edwards are called Ted.
Yeah. And unlike
I didn't know Oprah Winfrey was a part-time
somebody that
correspondent
changed
for 2
their
years
name
on
halfway
there.
through their career. Stephen Colbert. I remember when he was pronouncing his name Stephen Colbert, just like the town I live in or near. Oh Lord.
The frequency, Kenneth?
Yes. What's the frequency, Kenneth? Carl's got it right there.
You both lost me. I'm thinking the frequency is as often as you want, but go for it.
No. Carl, you're gonna have to nudge my memory with the name of the newscaster who was mistaken for Kenneth and was attacked by Dan Rather. Thank you. Two guys attacked Dan Rather on the street,
I remember.
beating the crap out of him, and they kept asking him, "What's the frequency, Kenneth?"
I thought they broke into a broadcast and was beating them on air.
No, it was on the street. It was on the sidewalk. Going down, I think it was a New York sidewalk. And it later gave, I do believe it was REM, a great song.
I didn't know Dan Rather was still alive.
Oh, he's on my friends list on Facebook. Seriously, he doesn't say much anymore.
Yeah, according to this,
REM.
According to this, he was part-time correspondent from 68 to 75. He hosted from 75 to 81 and 2005 to 2006. And since 2006, he's been at AXS TV, which is an American cable television channel majority owned by Canadian broadcaster Anthem Sports and Entertainment. It's devoted primarily to music-related programming and combat sports-related programming. That's a jump between broadcastings.
Well,
Yeah.
he used to post basically an editorial a week on Facebook, I do believe. It might have been X, but I'd never go there anymore, so I wouldn't know. But I think it was Facebook. But every week he would have one of his normal sort of editorials, like would have been fine in the Newsday.
Mm.
And
How old
seriously,
is he?
I don't know. Almost as old as I am.
Dan Rather?
Oh, he's got to be older than us.
Dan Rather, born October 31st, 1931.
Oh,
He is
Yeah.
92 years
just
old.
a shade older than me.
About 20 years.
Well, in this incarnation, anyway.
in this particular body, you know.
Oh, I freaked some people out. They were in England and they asked to comment about reincarnation. I go, well, I don't know. I keep getting reincarnated as myself every time, and they go, "You've been reincarnated more than once?" I go, "Well, yeah."
That's kind of the theory.
It works for me. And is still quieter than Joe Dobbs.
She's got a
Yeah.
slight shim. It's got a
92.
slight shake to where I keep having to readjust the camera, but
Hey, mount the camera to a different table. Sorry, that was a fatuous thing to say. I'm sorry. Not everybody has unlimited tables.
No, not really.
this is currently sitting on an old end table. It's actually very solid, but
Oh, where's Dawn when you really need her?
hey, Chris.
Hello, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Yes. Squeak.
Yeah, but he can actually hear that.
Right.
I'm not going to try and go that high unless I take
Let me
a
see
bulky
what I
hammer
can do.
Uh,
Could hear that too.
I can't go as high as she can.
Foxy, we need a bladed to squee. find a taser.
No, not again. Once was enough.
Not for me.
Take off the prongs.
Oh dear. No.
And she emerges from the back.
Oh, you're gonna pour it on my head.
A good.
Good, Foxy.
Chunk of ice right down the back of the shirt. That should do it.
That's what Don would do.
Before it gets there.
It worked for John Scarborough. He stood at attention for a good long while after that one.
Woo.
I'm leaving that alone.
It was at a Waffle House.
That was so funny. I mean, his eyes, and he just stood up, and then it went further down, and he stood up.
And he kept standing up until he had no more up to stand. Oh,
Till it came out his pant leg.
hello, sweetie. Damn, I keep sounding like River Song. Oh dear, look of chagrin was totally worth it. Yeah, well, we'll find out. We'll find out this year when the shoe gets put on the other foot. I'm fairly certain that John is plotting some sort of subtle revenge.
You know what the best revenge would be? Having her wonder all weekend when he was going to get his revenge and him not doing anything. Just walking by and smiling.
And smiling like he's got an evil plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. He's
That's
good
what I
at
do.
looking like that. Actually, he is. Oh, Lord.
Well, I will do my level best not to stop by a Waffle House on the way down there.
You can
Why?
stop at as many Waffle Houses as you want.
Because I've
Just
never
to-
been, so I figure I might as well do my first time with you guys.
Oh my
All right,
God! You've never been to a Waffle House?
I live in Cracker Barrel country. What the fuck do you
Neither
think? I got
So do I.
I got Cracker Barrel and Denny's.
Cracker Barrel. Lindsay's oldest daughter worked at Denny's. Well, now it's a hibachi place. After she quit, they got sold. What do you
Has
think that
Trey
waitress
been
isn't
to
here
a
anymore?
Waffle House?
I'm
think
putting in
so.
a bid on this building.
I don't think Trey's been one either.
All right.
There's going to
Double
be
cherry
five.
bursting.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
you, Misty, and Crow.
Ye old awful waffle. Yes, indeed, Chris. It'll have to be the same one that we went to. Only this time, the waitress will probably recognize us and go, y'all are troublemakers. You go over here in the back.
Hey, normally when we all eat at Denny's, that's where we'd end up.
But there is no back room.
Not in a Waffle House. There's only the front room, but
Well, we normally ended up in the back of a Denny's because we were also playing D&D.
now that would be perfect for an IHOP because they do have places they can curtain off from the innocent public, especially when somebody comes in who has just been to Rocky Horror Picture Show and insists on singing the entire soundtrack while the mundanes are trying to eat. Of course, that usually only happens in Atlanta. We were in the back? I thought we were right up front. I didn't know there was a back to a Waffle House. I mean, you walk in, it's right there. If you're not at the counter, you're in a booth.
Oh, there's 223 Waffle House locations in Indiana.
Jesus.
There's
Well,
what?
200 and something Waffle Houses.
223 Waffle Houses in Indiana. That's what Google just told me. The nearest one to me is South Bend.
And if they ever close, you better have your storm gear ready.
You guys are closer to South Bend than you are Indy?
I kind of wondered about that myself, because isn't there one over by Indy?
I thought so.
Yeah, there is. There's one in Indy.
There's a
There's one
Waffle
in
House in South
Pendleton.
Bend?
Oh, I see what you mean,
Google
Chris.
told me.
I see what you mean. What I consider to the back is the front. The doors are in the middle. Don't try and confuse me with architecture. I know how this shit works. There is no back to a Waffle House. Bathrooms and storage are in the back of every Waffle House. Yes, that's the way I think of it. But oh yeah, Cap. I went to college to be an interior designer, hoping to leverage that into being an architect. I wanted to design buildings and houses for people.
Well, see, then
Unfortunately, I was not gay enough for my teachers. So,
we would have fun then,
hey,
because I went to college to be a landscape architect. So you could design the building, I could design the outside.
I have actually done landscape architecture as a farmer. And that's a good living right there if you can get enough people to hire you on to or ride around in their front yard for 15 minutes with a tractor and smooth shit out and plant trees.
Which is why every time I go over to my parents' house and I see the god awful excuse for a design he put in his front yard, it makes me cringe.
I need desperately to go a few miles up the road to the granite capital of the world and go through their tailing pile and get enough 6 by 6 by 4 foot granite, what would have been steps, to make a miniature Stonehenge in my front yard. And I have, okay, I once had what could generously be termed a gnome scale well, I don't want to call it Stonehenge, but it was pretty much that, but it was granite and quartz, and it was properly aligned north, south, east, west. I was very careful with that. Had a bird bath in the middle, and that was just to make people think, has this guy got a pet cemetery in his front yard? What's all them standing stone things there? And I was in the middle of a trailer park, so nobody bothered me. Yes, I remember what happened to the Georgia Guidestones. Yeah, but they had white supremacy messages all over them, or some shit. I've been there several times. I remember what it was like before they were vandalized and then bombed. And the only reason they were not repaired is because the guy that originally paid for it is now dead and didn't get a chance to go, hey, here's another $1 million, put it back. I shouldn't say that it's white supremacy stuff, but it is very, very Old Testament and hellfire and brimstone. And in order to follow the instructions on the Georgia Guidestones, 9/10 of all the people on the earth would have to die. I mean, wouldn't matter where you were to follow these instructions, that'd be it. And I go, okay. So besides the Daughters of Confederacy, who's left? And ain't many of them left anymore, thank goodness. I've got one granite post, 6 inches square and about 4 feet tall in my cactus garden. And I have been toting that thing around from house to house to house for many a year. The only problem with having a miniature Stonehenge in the yard, which I found out in my backyard when I started attempting to recreate it, makes it a whole lot more difficult to mow.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I'm not wanting to get out there with a weed eater every week and for want of a better term, trim the bush. But,
No comment.
I find the 2 bits of rock I've got sticking up out of the ground in the backyard, I'm going to dismount from the ground and take them to a rock wall that I built, because I figure I can do Machu Picchu or Tiwanaku a whole lot easier than I can do Stonehenge. All you do is stack stuff up. Just keep stacking it. Hope that the dirt doesn't cover it entirely, or hope the dirt does cover it entirely, and you've got another 1/4 acre to your lot that used to be a hill.
Did you see what the Witsman dude said? Dan, remember what happened to the Georgia Guidestones?
Yes, I saw that. I responded to that.
Oh, did you?
Yes, verbally.
Oh, I'm sorry. As usual, I'm listening
vociferously. Yes, yeah, I know.
I'm sorry, I was on a Waffle House hunt.
Yeah, and no.
I'm hunting Waffle Houses.
Nobody is going to blow up anything in my yard because I don't mow it often enough, and they know a gun lives here.
You don't mow it off enough for them to be able to see the Stonehenge?
No, it's just it's like having a '57 Chevy up on blocks in the front yard. The neighbors drive by and they go, I bet he's got more guns than the National Guard does tanks and things. And they're not far wrong.
He's got more guns than I got balls.
That's exactly the reaction I hope to provoke.
So I'm sorry, I'm still thinking Waffle House. We're gonna have at least 10 people going.
Oh yeah, we can take over we can buy stock.
I was gonna say we're gonna have to just take over that one restaurant.
Walk in.
We can do that.
Just walk in like a gang, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, we're out. Okay, we're good. We're gonna get the bill and leave. We gotta go."
That's why we send Donna, Dawn, Trey, and Misty in first. Let them clear out the riffraff, and then
the guys can come in.
Hey! I'm not comfortable with sending in the shield maidens first.
I'd put
They
money
like-
on some of our shield maidens over a
I-
night.
I would too, but you know, I might have to stand on my southern manners and send an old god of Appalachia in there first and go, all right, it's ours now. Y'all got to go.
And as they look up at him and see the 4 shield maidens behind him, they'll go,
Shit.
okay.
Oh Lord. I wish I wish Crow still fit that shirt.
Uh-oh.
Crow had at one point in time had a shirt that's talked about, being a shield maiden.
No, I still have this T-shirt that says, "I am protected by gods that you will not understand," or something like that. Basically, it says, "Back off, because I'm bad." Speaking of T-shirts, are we gonna have the "We Love the COC" shirts?
You got to talk to Chris about that. I don't know anybody that's printing them.
I will see what I can do. If I can't pull off T-shirts, no pun intended, I will see about.
I do believe your wife would be a little upset about that one.
I believe my wife would be very upset about that. But I will see about getting some transfers so that people can purchase the shirt garment of their choice and be able to just iron those puppies on.
What is this iron you speak of?
It's kind of like a hot rock.
It's that thing that I keep getting threatened with when I don't do the housework.
It's that hot metal thing that you have the maid do for you.
Oh,
it's really good
the
for
thing
making.
that's in Witzman's dude room.
Yeah, it's a thing that's really good for making grilled cheese sandwiches, but you got to be really careful with it.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to make sure that you didn't use the starch stuff on it, otherwise it makes your sandwiches taste funny, and you get really weird looks about the answers you give in history class. Sorry.
Okay, now I need a shirt that says the Shield Maidens are with me. Got it?
That could be arranged.
Oh dear. I'm definitely not going to Valhalla anytime soon. They're not going to want me. I think right now Spider-Man is one of the main attractions. So
I've come to the realization that I'm just going to be stuck in purgatory. They definitely ain't going to let me ride the elevator up, and I'm pretty sure Satan's still got the restraining order.
There are worse places to be.
You can come over and be in our realm.
That works.
Yeah, Elysium is quite nice and has some decent food.
As long as they don't bring out that petrified fish, we're fine.
No, Don's dad already got rid of that from the freezer.
That wasn't petrified. It was frozen in carbonite.
The amount of freezer burn, same difference.
Oh God! There's more carbon in that thing than there is in a pencil.
Okay, so Foxy confirmed they make decent grilled cheese too. And you see what the Witzman dude told her.
Mm-hmm.
Already had to hide the iron. No, Cap. That we have no way of knowing it was the same fish every time she looked, though. That's the thing. That fish spent what 30 years in a freezer,
Supposedly, according to Dale.
supposedly. Um,
Funny how it changed species.
I'm fairly sure that some swapping and dealing was involved. Yeah, 30 years, thereabouts. I don't know. Dawn doesn't look that old, I'm telling you. But her daddy kept a fish that she caught in the freezer for several decades, according to lore. And as Carl said, Dawn never suspected that it wasn't the same fish every time when she opened the freezer until he suggested it. Oh, dear. No, he wasn't Canadian.
I think he was talking about Tim Ressert.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed the earlier thing that Chris's comment would have made sense to me, but
No comment.
Crow's shirt either said, "Don't call me a princess, I'm a shield maiden," or "Who wants a princess when you can have a shield maiden covered in the blood of her enemies?"
I've seen both of those, so
I think Chris went back and watched a little bit of the earlier show.
Their great store was not happy with that shirt.
Kitty.
It's true. It's true. I bought that for her.
Hey,
It's true.
after seeing her walk around your apartment, I'm not going to argue. I would write legends about those as well.
He went back and read the chat.
yes, you do, Foxy.
And I bought it before the reduction, so it was filled out even better then. Actually, she wore it to one of her checkups with the reduction doctor, and he about fell out of his chair when he saw it.
Yeah, I mean, Hermione is right. It's almost the end of the show. 7 minutes.
And I don't have the glove of dawn in this particular section of StreamYard. I'm gonna have to. I need to go download a bunch of stuff from Joe Dog's Stupid O'Clock section and put it back up here, but I hate to morally safer. Good Lord, Chris, we've stopped talking about news hosts a long time ago, but you're right, he was respectable.
Yeah, he was.
I can't say much because up until the age of 14, I got most of my news from Kurt Loder and MTV News.
That's actually probably still better news than what we get today. So,
hey, some of us have access to Al Jazeera, totally unbiased news. Lindsay watches BBC and a news show from Albuquerque. So I'm going, no, this isn't biased at all. No.
Some of us go out to guardian.co.uk.
Only if I want to look at the page 3 girls.
I thought that was the sun.
No, it's basically any British newspaper. They have to keep up. Uh, and for those that don't know, one of the features in a prominent British newspaper is girly pictures on page 3.
Cheesecake. Hence, page 3 girl.
Hmm. And they're usually
The
extraordinarily pretty.
Weekly
But
World News picked that up, but they made it their page 5 or page 9. I couldn't remember.
oh yeah, but it was always Bat Boy, and I've never been fond of Bat Boy in a bikini. Um,
No. Back in the day, they had some
Beefcake.
good page whatever the hell.
I think my favorite fake news story was one about a guy who had um a British car that he put the engine of a Spitfire fighter plane in, but he had to put a governor on it so that it couldn't drive 400 miles an hour down the highway. And even as a child, I'm looking at this and going, um, exactly what road in England is long enough to get up to 400 freaking miles an hour? It's not like it's out in Utah. The Great Salt Flats are not anywhere part of England. Uh, the whole country is what, 5 miles wide and 2 miles deep?
Well, plane engine in a car, that's an old joke. Bill Cosby pulled that with Fat Albert having a plane engine in his car.
Well, with Fat Albert, it needed a little extra horsepower to haul him around.
Just a little bit.
He was a big guy. Um,
Went to get his driver's license, started the car up, and the license guy goes cut out of the car and was like, "Wait a minute, looks like a car."
yeah.
Push the button, Frank.
No, it's Push the Button Max. Wrong movie, Carl. Never seen The Great Race with Tony Curtis. Or at least it didn't stick in your memory the way it sticks in mine. But
It's been a long time.
oh God, I love that movie. It's right on up there with those Fabulous Men and Their Flying Machines, which is same period, but not quite
Same
as
actors.
good. Yeah, a lot of the same actors. Yeah, but not quite as good. But all right, folks, we're like 2 minutes out. Anybody got anything they want to pimp? And Donna, not Carl. He's busy. I think I broke Richie.
ndcd.org to find all the folks that are on this, stream tonight,
On the screen.
and most of the chat.
I'm trying to behave.
Trying.
Why? I mean, seriously, why? You're among friends.
I love my sister. You can too for 1995. All right, sorry.
Because we're being recorded right now, and this is going on to the internet. I've said in the last 2 shows, behaving face. I know.
I'm sorry, Chris. No, I wasn't. That was not me. I don't care what the headstone says. No, it was not me. No, actually, there seems to be a Dan Hollifield on the Vietnam Memorial Wall.
Actually, I believe he was talking about Dan Rather, who is now interviewing
I'm
rock
sure he
stars
was,
on
but-
Access TV.
I thought I could kill a minute by going, no, it wasn't me. I was nowhere near there.
It is now time to say goodnight, Gracie.
All right, folks. Thank you very much for being here. ndcd.com or .org, excuse me. So used to .com on anything at the end. Thesis has a show coming up Saturday. Please do watch. We've got the Green Room tomorrow night where we can actually be not recorded and
Say what we didn't say tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Indie CD, a site that's so fun we couldn't contain it in a .com. It had to be an .org.
Good night, folks.
On that,
Night. On that note. Except you broke Dan.
I am definitely, if I have to get a ladder, I'm going to kick your ass. Oh.
Transmission overload. System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down.